What's up, guys? I'm Nick. Brandon's around here somewhere. We're the bored Georgian. He ain't got a lot of time this weekend, but we're gonna go ahead and get this block torn apart, then get it pressure washed. Hopefully get it looking a lot better. Y'all stay tuned. All right, so we got the block tore apart. This thing was nasty.
And bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. We did a little bit of pressure washing, but I don't like how. I want to do a little bit more. So we have access to a better pressure washer at a different location. We'll show you that here in a little bit. But we found some interesting stuff when we were tearing this apart, and I'm gonna hand it off to Brandon and let him give you some information.
Once we got the crank freed up, I started seeing the copper on the bearings and everything. And I mean, if you ever pull a bearing and you see this, it's automatic. Even the slightest. If you see a hint of copper on any of your bearings, I mean, it's time for a rebuild. At minimum, roll in new bearings. But I mean, the pistons, they're scored on the sidewalls. I mean, so this thing, it's not the original block. The truck's an 87, and I'm staring at these bearings. I mean, this bearing says 90. I would go dark on me. This bearing says, the thrust washer says 92. This one says 93. So we're gonna assume somewhere between 93 to 95. This thing was rebuilt. And that's just what Ford had left over, and they snatched something out of another truck.
Which they have a tendency to do.
Yeah, it's very common for just going to a junkyard and getting swapped in. Being this thing started out as a manual truck and it's got an automatic in it now,
I would not be surprised if somebody rebuilt it.
I wouldn't even be shocked in the slightest if they went to a junkyard and snatched a whole drivetrain and dropped in it. But yeah, if you ever decide to go do an oil pan and you look up and you see copper on your thrust washers, it's game over. You might as well start checking prices on bearings. If you pull your caps and your crank is clean, then you'll be fine and just rolling in normal size bearings.
It's not hard, guys. I mean, we have limited knowledge, and we may have access to a little bit more tools than most people because we're diesel mechanics. But a lot of this stuff you can get for real cheap. This is a Harbor Freight jack stand. This thing was not very expensive at all. Engine stand. Sorry.
We don't trust jack stands.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight.
But it's not very expensive at all. You get one, it'll last you a good while. Doing an engine like this, the smaller 4 cylinders, inline 4s, they're great for learning on. I made the mistake of trying to learn on a 302, which is not the hardest, but probably should have started on something like this. But these are very easy, man. If y'all want to get into them, I'd start out with something like this. You can actually rebuild the bottom end on these things, put a turbo on it, and get some decent power. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of power, but you'll be able to have some fun with it. But we're going to take this off, throw it in the truck, get it up to our
Other
location that we have access to, and then we'll get back to y'all later.
Bye. Hey guys, Brandon here. So, the end of the day for us, we're ready to go home. We've been at work for already 10 hours a day, but we pulled it in, pressure washed it, blasted. This thing flash rusted very quickly, but it cleaned up very greatly.
We expected the flash rust, so.
Yeah, we expected that. But I mean, this thing looks great. We found out that the pistons are 20 over. And we also found, I want to say
It's one of them.
one of them is cracked. So we have a cracked piston that we drove on. And that one, there it is. Yeah, look at that. That thing is cracked. And we pulled it out of the block that way. So this thing was running and driving with cracked piston, 20 over. So my assumption was right. This thing was rebuilt at some point, and there's a tag on the side of this that says 98. So this was just spare parts they had laying around, I'm guessing, from an engine shop that got their hands on this thing. So they did it right, but obviously somebody didn't love it enough to take care of it, because I mean they just abused it. So other than that, it's ready to go. We're going to clean it up, get all this flash rust off, and then we're going to clear coat it for the internals, and then the externals. I don't know if I'm going to go with blue or red yet, but it's going to be definitely a Ford color. So I don't know if it's going to be old Ford blue or old Ford red, but we're going to keep it pretty much like this. The feet will probably laying out somewhere around this area.
They're going to be legs.
Yeah, pistons are going to be legs. The inside's going to be cleaned up, shined up. The head's going to be shined up, and we'll put lights in it. And then I'll put a either a glass or a plexi top on it. That way, it's useful. It'll be nice. So,
But that's going to be it for today.
that's why we can't have nice things.
Yep, and it probably cracked again. That's going to be it for today. Next week, may not get a video up. If we do, it'll probably be...
It's going to be a very short video if we do.
Yeah, it'll be a short video. It'll probably be either me polishing this up or just a shop update.
It might even be on the Cherokee, honestly.
Yeah.
We might introduce that finally to the channel.
But y'all have a good day. We'll see y'all next time. I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.